first color, cyan, sandwiches with a negative, and pin registration, negative, and pin bar taped to the emulsion sheet. Keep it in good tight registration. We're just taking it out of the proof frame, we're taking it out. So you can see darker as you receive more exposure. The darker sky at the top, the foreground is very dark. So you can see the wetted image now in relief, like an old daguerreotype or something. And we want it to get thirsty and drink itself up in suction, vacuum action to the albumin coat coated on the plastic temporary support. And to look for water molecules in the thin, few molecules thick layer of albumin, and in drinking them in, it sends out its long arms of its molecule and hooks and using water molecules according to its own molecular weight or mass. And we have some water coming off the sheet making a nice automatic bead. And so there's a nice layer of water that's going to precede the heavy weight of the roller pushing out, making a vacuum behind. And start the clock. Set quietly for a few minutes. And carefully take it off of the pins. There's a little bit of water in the sandwich, in the emulsion that's sandwiched between the backing sheet here and the polyester intermediate support sheet, we call it. The heat will act on the moisture in the gelatin to heat plus moisture plus gelatin. Gelatin gets soft and wants to melt. Everywhere the image has not been exposed, the gelatin is melting, and it'll allow us to separate backing sheet in one smooth, steady line. I look at the creping pattern, the small fine wrinkles, and that tells me how moist was this, what kind of sticking action have we got going on. It gives me a clue if I've got any danger zones. This looks pretty good. Okay. And then, sort of like Polaroid, you can see the reverse of the image a little, It took pigment density away. It's hopefully sticking to the sheet. We're going to wash this out so it's ready for next time. At the same time, kill two birds with one stone, they say. Same time as we're going to wash unwanted, unexposed gelatin and pigment off of the image, revealing the image in a gentle, slow, steady wash in 110-degree water. And just like a nice clean edge to hold on to without any slippery pigment. When you get tired, you don't drop as much stuff and ruin it. And the little advantage of having my backing sheet being washed off at the same time, that's the emulsion didn't get exposed, it will wash away too to clean this backing sheet, but it serves as a white ground so I can read my image through it, So it's not the force of the agitation, it's just slow time, I think, that does it best, to let the gelatin get relaxed and let go of everything that's not wanted. So to that end, I just let it sit very still and just clean this up. So it should be ready to go now. I love the trade up all that flood of color across the tray, that plastic bottom. I'm just cleaning up the back. I don't want any pigment back here to be where it's not wanted. A little stream of water about like so. Little emulsion defect. There's white holes there. So I like to slow it down a little. It doesn't have the water on it all the time. Maybe it's drying a little, it's relaxing still. I think it's time that lets it release the unwanted pigment, but if it's in water all the time for a real long time, the gelatin does get softer. You have more failure, image failure in the printing. So I'm taking off unwanted trace pigment and actually scouring off a little of the albumin just to make this outer margin surface slicker and slicker through the printmaking. I don't want anything to stick in there and sting. See, there's a little pigment dribbling off there. Still going to get another wash. Pretty clean now. I think at a certain point the pigment that's stuck in there starts to bleed a little bit also. It's just my crackpot theory. I don't know if that's true or not. I suspect it. And now we give a nice chill bath, just like after sauna. Helps to set the gelatin, and the photo flow in the bath promotes even draining and a beautiful surface when dried for sticking to the next pigment layer. At least 30 seconds for complete osmosis throughout the organic colloid emulsion material. And a nice drain. So I leave the bottom one unsponged, and the capillary action is going to pull the water off the image faster than if we wiped that clean and interrupted the flow. Imagine principles of physics in action every minute while we print. Coat still drying on temporary support. It's been washed and drained, and it gets dried in a drying cabinet with a little heat.